you're trying to bust the myth.
I can
You're
talk
trying
of
to
one more
bust the
myth.
myth of a population
No,
Yes.
yes, yes.
You're trying to bust that myth. Let me. I'll
more
come
myth
back
and
to you,
let
Dr.
me
Qureshi, in a moment. I'll come back to you in a moment. You
What does
made
it
your
mean?
principal point that this is a myth to suggest that Muslims are in a way contributing to population growth, because essentially you're saying family planning now is being practiced by both. Muslims are still slightly ahead of Hindus, but not by the kind of by the numbers that are being suggested at times by our politicians. In a way, Poonam Muthreja, is it true, therefore, that legislation is required? There will be those who will say that you need some legislation to try, as China attempted. It was coercive in China, the one-child family norm, but many believe for a while it was successful. Eventually, the Chinese have had to also review and relook at it. Do you believe in the Indian context legislation can work, or as Nitish Kumar today says, this cannot be done by law, this needs to be done by awareness? Ma'am, you are on mute. Please, you have to unmute yourself. Can you hear me?
Yeah, 1 second.
I'm sorry, ma'am, you have not unmuted yourself. We'll have to wait till you unmute yourself.
Okay, I've unmuted. Sorry.
Yes.
Rajdeep, first of all, Nitish Kumar gets it. He is right, and he's always got it on population issues. And that's why you're seeing very good results in NFHS 5 in UP, Bihar. There's been a huge decline in fertility and many other good indicators. Now, the data for UP hasn't come, but the data for the last decade for Hindus and Muslims is that Muslim growth decrease in fertility rates was the highest, in terms of the fact that Muslim was 4.7 percentage point a decrease in comparison to the decadal growth decline of Hindus, which was 3.1. But I don't want to calculate even what Dr. Qureshi is saying or what I just did. I want to say that Hindus and Muslims or Christians, if there is parity for income, low literacy, they will have the same number of children. There's one difference, children, Dr. Qureshi, I think actually is going to be misused. It's a good way to look at data, but it's going to be misused by our politicians. Our politicians need to understand that, and people in India need to understand that if you're poor, you're illiterate, your fertility will be the same, and it is the same, whether you're a Hindu or a Muslim. Second, fertility is declining across the country. And UP, if you look at NFHS hasn't come out 5, NFHS 5 hasn't come out, and it was 7 years ago. But if you look at NFHS and do a calculation, and it's going to come out next month, their fertility rate is going to decline to 2.5 in UP. And there is a calculation by a commission that was set up of experts, which shows by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare that UP population rate is going to be 2.1, which is replacement level in 2025. Why are they panicking? I don't understand.
So are you telling me, Poonam Muthreja, that the direct link in this country is essentially between literacy rates and population growth? So in every state where...
and poverty.
And poverty.
So in all the states.
Yes. But what you're telling me is that you believe that Uttar Pradesh has actually made gains and will come to 2.1 replacement level by 2025. So you're saying there is no need for a law, just expand, just ensure higher incomes and just ensure better levels of education.
No, two more things UP needs to do. UP has an unmet need of 18.1%, and I'm giving you government data, by the way. I'm not giving you any manufactured or non-government data. So the UP government has access to that data, and the unmet need for family planning, which is women who wish to have fewer children or families who wish to have fewer children, do not have access to family planning. And I'm again talking about the poor and the poorest in the most remote areas. So 18% of the fertility is unwanted. People end up having babies because they don't have access to family planning. UP needs to deal with that. It's a low-hanging fruit. They just need to invest in the most backward areas, which is what Bangladesh, Indonesia did. Bangladesh took family planning with choice, temporary methods, to a large number of people in remote areas and in rural areas through ANMs and frontline health workers, which we can do too. India has only 6 methods. One was introduced recently. The main method is a permanent method, which is sterilization, which is used by women. Women who get sterilized
Right.
in India, 77% of them have never experienced family planning. In India, there are 16 million abortions. Why? Because it is a proxy for contraception. Women risk their lives to go to back alleys and have abortions because they don't have access to family planning. Why aren't we looking at that when government itself has the data? Finally, I want to just quickly comment on Assam and Lakshadweep, where they are bringing, Assam has brought a 2-child norm. Do you know what the fertility rates there are? 1.9 as per NFHS 5. And in Lakshadweep, it is 1.4. So this is completely unacceptable, unnecessary, irrational,
Okay,
and
let
does
me-
defy every bit of evidence and data. And states like Kerala, Tamil Nadu, many other states have have had fertility decline rapidly without doing anything coercive. Why do something coercive which will not work, which will have outcomes like high sex ratios?
Let me, ma'am, you made your point.